Hi, Joe. Thanks for coming in. Before we start, I'll just say we've got some confidentiality rules.
Yeah.
Not rules, but it's confidentiality. But whatever you're going to disclose here, it was just going to stay here with me.
Yeah.
Unless there's some reason, safety for other people that could be involved, whatever that may be. But
yeah,
essentially, whatever you say will be confidence. Is there anything else?
No, I feel it's pretty straightforward.
Okay. So have you got an issue to talk about today?
Yeah, I've just been it's been a long term working on for me, but I'm just focused now, I guess, on refining my own boundaries. Never really have had boundaries. I hated the word when I was younger, I guess. I'm quite an open and sharing person. So I never felt that need to have boundaries, and it sounded like a negative thing.
What does boundaries mean for you?
So now, because I find myself in a situation where I'm raising little kids with my ex, and we weren't together that long, it was only a couple of years, and we've been separated a couple of years, so we didn't have a big understanding of each other, I guess, before this, and also we communicate very differently. So I have my I've now got to have boundaries for my own sake.
Okay, so can I just ask then? Is the boundaries to do with how you and your ex-partner then are parenting your children, or is it about with yourself?
It's for me because the kids are little, and my daughter wasn't even born when we were separated. So I think that I wanted to foster and nurture a really good environment for the kids. So right from the start, I was I only moved a block away. My house was open. You're welcome to come anytime. I just kept him really updated, especially when she was a newborn, because I just wanted him to connect. So I'd be messaging all through the day.
So is that just coming from you?
That's just who I am. That's what I thought was
the
right
you
thing to do.
For your child.
For my kids, and just I thought if I was in his position and I wasn't with them all the time, that's what I would want. So I was happy to respond. But the thing is, he's quite a taker, so he's happily accepted all that. So in a way, for a long time, it felt like the relationship was still there without, as in I was communicating overly.
Right.
And so, but then when I tried to put up the boundary a bit, or not text back straight away, or not send a picture, or not, then I feel guilty because I think, well, it's not hard for me to respond straight away, or it's not hard for me to send, a picture this morning, or and I do it pretty regularly. But then I also feel like I'm still in not a relationship with this person, but he's when I wake up, I think, I have to and I'll say, kids are up, had a good night, la la la. It's still that communication you would with a partner, and it's I don't want that. I want a bit of separation and freedom as well, but I don't. I feel bad. So it's confusing.
So when you feel so I'll just take you back a little bit.
Yeah.
You said that it feels like he's a taker. What do you think that he's taking, or what is he taking from you?
I find him to be quite an entitled person. So he comes from a very wealthy family, and they sort of fund him and his gambling habit, and he accepts that as a reality. But he's older than me. He's almost 50. He doesn't pay a mortgage. He doesn't pay rent. But he thinks that that's okay because he holds down a job. And I think he feels like I work for him because he pays me child support. It's and he's not with the kids all the time. I think because he's working, it's I've always felt like he felt an entitlement over me because I'm home with the kids, whereas he doesn't really understand the sacrifice that I make of the amount of rent that I pay to stay in Sydney, or that, I don't share my issues with him because it's not his problem anymore. like I feel like he expects me to respond to him in ways, but then he doesn't. Yeah, but it's not the case. Like, it's not reality. You know, we're not together. I don't have to do that.
You don't have to do it, and then you have this feeling that you do have to do it. You have to wake up every morning and communicate what's,
Yeah.
like put a report in,
Yes, like a report.
like and
Throughout the day.
and throughout the day. And then there's this other part where you don't think that you should have to be doing that, and you know, like you're not together now.
Yeah.
So and you're the sole parent. You see yourself as the sole parent. Does he actually
participate? Yeah, he has always participated a lot with my son and our son, and so he still has him like 2 separate nights a week. It always has. It's probably been a bit much for my son, but having said that, I think it's been good for him as well, because they've really kept that close relationship. And them having a close relationship, my little girl has seen that, because she adores her brother. That's helped her connect to her dad now. So she only just has like a day visit with him because she's only little.
Right.
And he's not, I think he's a bit nervous of having both of them at the same time overnight. And I wouldn't. Yeah, so he does participate, but I'm there every day, every night, you know, and I think he sometimes feels like, he always like, oh, I miss them, and oh, wish I wasn't at work, you know, and it's like, well, don't share that with me, because this is work too, do you know what I mean? It's not easy. But I feel like a sense of guilt. I think, yeah, it's a bit of guilt. And in my past, if ever I broke up with someone, I didn't have to see them again. You know, so
just go back to the sense of guilt.
Yeah.
So do you want to just say a little bit more about that?
Yeah, guilt's been my go-to issue my whole life, I would say.
Feeling guilty.
Yeah, always very quick to feel guilty.
So how does that like feel when you're feeling guilty about something or other? How do you feel that?
I'm very hard on myself, I think. Like, I blame myself for things. Even though in this instance, truly, when I look at it, I'm like, I couldn't have tried harder, tried many avenues, and actually, he wasn't honest with me from the start. So I know it's not my fault. However, when I left, I was told, I was blamed for that. It's like, you chose to leave. And I was quite attacked for it.
So
and
the attack was from other people outside of?
Yeah, him and his family, and they legally attacked me, they emotionally attacked me. Like, I really felt very attacked. And so it sort of brought that guilt up, because they were telling me, you've done the wrong thing, you know, you shouldn't have left. Like, and it's like, and I was like, no, I was treated badly. I had to leave. I had to do the right, you know. But it was like conflicting. So because now, and because my go-to is guilt, I think that it just kept that fostering. And the only way that I felt less guilty, even though I know rationally that it was the right decision for me and the kids to leave, I feel like I have to upkeep this every day. I send about 30 photos. I don't even speak to his parents, but I upload pictures on an app for his mum. Well, he should be sending pics to his mum. I send him photos, but I still do that, because then I think, oh, well, it'll take me a few minutes. So it's still prioritizing their kind of needs, I feel like, above mine.
So when you're talking about boundaries then, how would that look in all this reporting and photo sending? And even with the guilt, how do you think that's going to change that?
See, the boundaries would be beneficial to me, not to him, because they're my boundaries. And I think I'm still happy to send photos and stay connected, because that's what I would want. So I don't want to change who I am. You know, I still think.
So when you say that's what you would want, you want him to be connected with your children?
Yeah, and also if I was in his position, if I didn't live full time with the kids, I would love to receive updates and photos.
So this is if you were him.
Yeah,
that's what you think that he would be wanting.
Yeah, that's what I would want if I was in his position. So I try to act like that, I guess, in my life, and then.
So do you think, is that helpful for you to be looking from his point of view of how
No,
it
it's
should
not
be.
helpful for my new life. You know, it's probably helpful for the bond with the kids, but that's pretty established now. So I think I want to put that down, that sense of my responsibility over that. And no, it's not helpful for my future because I think there's no space left. There's no, like, I spend a lot of energy in that. And even just the amount of photos or texts and stuff, whereas that energy could go towards me. Like being present with the kids for one, but also just me. Like maybe I could have a cup of tea and actually stare out the window for 20 minutes as opposed to, you know what I mean? And
yeah, it's a lot of energy then when you have to kind of think about what someone else is wanting and then fill that up, and it's still all guesswork, isn't it? Because they haven't said what they want.
Because I've never taken it away. That's what I mean. I think he'll take everything I will offer, and maybe he wouldn't. You know, like
I'm not too sure whether he would. Sure.
Well, he's not. He would never be happy with less. But I think maybe I built up fear in my head of a reaction, but that's because of more. I was feeling attacked. But now that's sort of simmered down now, and it's sort of, you know, it's been a couple of years and we're getting to a calm place. So probably that fear that I have is still up here, and the reality is here. Like he'd probably not react badly if I started to cut back on that.
So there's a fear of him, of what the repercussions could be. Is it like that?
You know, well, it was for a while because they were quite legally threatening of like the kids and stuff.
Like in what way?
Oh, like they have a lot of money and they're quite litigious, and they've kind of intimated, I guess, that, you know, he should have the kids half the time, and they would fight me for that and take me to court. And so that was scary, and I was pregnant, and it was just like a lot. So that put me in a bit of a like, and I'll just I'll do everything right so no one's going to take the kids away from me, and you know. But
so when you're doing that too, are you I just noticed that stop breathing even, just held yourself really.
Yeah, it was a really scary.
And is that still strong for you at the moment?
No, like when I do that, the feeling comes back for sure.
It does come back, so the feeling it's still kind of like still attached somehow.
Yeah, for sure. I think that logically I know the threat isn't real now, and also he's actually not an aggressive, like he won't fight, so it's not an aggressive for him. He's more a shutdown person, so it's not really an altercation that I would fear, I guess. So, and logically that threat has dissipated, and I don't think that he would take me to court for, you know, if he did, I don't think that it would really have good repercussions.
So the threat's more inside of your...
Yeah, and I think because it was like an instinct for so long, especially because I was pregnant and I had a little kid, and I was like, it was an instinctive fear, you know, like, yeah. So it's hard to let that go, maybe, that, and I was trying to protect the kids.
Really. I wonder what it would feel like for you if you did let that go.
Yeah, I think it would.
What do you think it would look like?
It would, that's why I want to work. I think putting up a little bit of boundaries of like, you know, I don't have to communicate with you all day, every day.
So how can you make that happen?
You know, I made this plan so much, it's like respond less, or, you know, offer less about the kids, but even saying that, it just seems mean. It's like,
offering, so,
it's just the texts and photos and like the communication about the kids.
So you say it seems mean. So you're looking from still within yourself, from how you think that other people will see.
Yeah.
What do you think would be fair? How do you think that that would be enough?
It's a good question. I think that, how do I think it would be enough? I think, you know, a contact in the morning, and then maybe like a text in the morning, just so it's at that relief of, okay, everything's okay, you know, kids are awake and they're fine and whatever. and then maybe a couple of photos, but not like verbal in the middle of the day around lunch, and then maybe a couple of pictures at night. But it's just that if I don't respond,
So you take, sorry, I'm just going to say, where are so there's a lot of
photos.
Yeah. Is that usually what you do, or are you going to take the photos to send?
Yeah, like I want to take
that
less because I think when they were babies, I did it and it's easier and it didn't impact them as much, and it was a way to, like, you want to take photos of your babies and also was to send to him and have him, feel like part of it. But now it's hard for me, and I think it takes away, like, they don't want all these photos taken of them all the time, like, so it's putting his needs above the kids and my needs.
So do you think, is that really important?
No, I just think that I set that standard, and so to drop it, it's going to hurt him, so it's like I feel a sense of responsibility.
So once again, it's like coming back into his...
Yeah, and I don't even, like, care, this sounds really harsh, I don't even care about this person that much, do you know what I mean? Like, it's not a big love, it wasn't a big love connection, and it's not like a loss like that. So the fact that I feel so bad doesn't really make sense, and I think that probably comes back to that feeling of guilt that I'm going to go to. Do you know what I mean?
So the guilt then could be driving what you're actually doing, and then that's going to help you to, like, you started off on a good foot about, I'll just do this, right, in the report in the morning, but then came with the photos in the middle of the day, photos at the end of the day, and then you even looked a little bit exasperated about.
And because I know that he's then going to, he does, if I do this sometimes, I go, I'm just not going to text. And then he'll always say, I'll just say, like, kid's fine, busy day, where I'm at. And then an hour later, he'll be like, kids okay? And I think, you shouldn't ask that. And then I go, yeah, they're fine. So it's also, I don't know how to not respond to that.
So, okay. We're going to have to wrap up now, but I'm wondering if we could really explore that further as to how you can actually, what some things are that you could be doing, and even whether there involves a conversation of, like, what you want to do. And
probably would be a good thing to. That's the first time it's occurred to me to even have a conversation about it with him. So if maybe we could plan that or like rehearse it, that might be helpful.
Could rehearse that,
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, wish you well.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming, and we'll reschedule.
Yeah.
Session next week.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Good one.